So Billy, take me. You finish Raw Deal, and then you start. I assume what is becomes your next huge project in Cocaine Cowboys. Does that start immediately? How long does that take? What is the process of that project?
No, it took a couple years for us to decide what to do. We had spent an entire year plus on this, our first documentary, and so we needed to we needed to figure out what the hell we were going to do next. We kind of went to Sundance a little unprepared. We didn't have anything else to pitch. We didn't know what our next thing was going to be, and so we did the movie blew up at Sundance. We did 60 interviews in 5 or 6 days with press from all over the world. Our doc was the first movie to sell out all of its screenings at Sundance in advance, and it was a whirlwind experience. And so the last question of every interview was always the same. Everybody would say, "Okay, now that you have arrived, right? Are you guys going to go to New York? Are you going to go to LA? What's the next move?" And as obvious as it was to them that we would move to New York or LA, industry meccas, it was just as obvious to us that we were going to come back to Miami, which is what we told everybody. We're going to go back home. First of all, home is where you go when you're done with other shit. That's why they call it home. So there was that, along with the fact that we had this idea, call it a gamble, call it an investment. Gamble is probably more accurate, but that we were going to tell stories from our hometown, about our hometown or home state, that we were going to develop Florida fuckery as our nonfiction genre. It had been a genre in nonfiction and certainly in fiction, but not really in nonfiction filmmaking and documentary filmmaking. And we just saw it as this extraordinary untapped resource for documentarians and for real life stories that we wanted to embrace and help export. Florida fuckery is our top export, actually, other than, I think, oranges and machine guns that are made in Florida. But that's what we wanted to do. We didn't want to be 3 more schmucks peddling our wares in New York and LA like everybody else who has a big Sundance premiere or debut. We wanted to be the Miami guys. We knew that nobody might know who Alfred Spellman was or David Sipkin or Raconteur, our company, but we were hoping that they would know us as the Miami guys or the Florida guys. There's a lot of filmmakers, Spike Lee in New York or Martin Scorsese in New York, Richard Linklater and Robert Rodriguez in Austin, Tarantino in LA, and Shyamalan and Philly and Pennsylvania and rural Pennsylvania. You have in Baltimore, John Waters and David Simon and Barry Levinson, people, Kevin Smith in New Jersey, you just associate those filmmakers with their geography. And so we wanted to do that. We wanted to kind of, bootstrap, if you will, our brand onto Miami, which we felt was not a provincial move, but an international move. It's an international city. Everybody wants to be in Miami. That's the reason most people hate Miami, is because they wish they were here. People love to hate Miami. I hate to love it, I think, is my problem. But I think that's true of a lot of people who are here. But that was our move. And to that end, we needed to develop a project that was going to be our calling card, right? That was going to herald the arrival of our brand. And so we developed this idea called City Made of Snow, about the cocaine boom, really about our childhoods, if you will, to sort of explain what was happening here in Miami when we were growing up. So that was the idea. Of course, we later changed the title to Cocaine Cowboys. And certainly I think the investment or the gamble paid off, the idea that we were going to be, so then we weren't the Miami guys per se, but everyone was like, oh, the Cocaine Cowboys guys. Right. So that, which is okay too. It's better to be known for something than for nothing at all.